Welcome to the IMCP Profiles and Partnership, the podcast that showcases how Microsoft partners and IAMCP members boost their business by collaborating with other members and partners. I'm your co-host, Anthony Carrano, and in each episode I'll be talking to some of the most innovative and successful partners in the Microsoft ecosystem. The International Association of Microsoft Channel Partners, otherwise known as IAMCP, is a community of Microsoft partners who help each other grow and thrive. Members can find and connect with other partners locally and globally and access exclusive resources and opportunities. Whether you're looking for new customers, new markets, or new solutions, IMCP can help you achieve your goals. We'll hear their stories, learn from their experiences, and discover the best practices and strategies they use to increase customer loyalty and grow revenues. Whether you're a new partner or an established one, you'll find valuable insights and inspiration in this podcast. We hope you enjoy this podcast and find it useful and inspiring. If you do, please subscribe, rate, and review us on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to follow us on social media and connect with us on our website, www.profilesandpartnership.com, where you can find more information, resources, and opportunities to partner for success. Thank you for listening, and now let's get started with today's episode. But before we dive into our interview, let me ask you, have you ever wondered what it takes to turn a simple idea into a monumental project that impacts thousands of lives? And how are you leveraging IMCP to learn about the programs and specializations of each partner to help you effectively achieve those projects and grow your business at the same time? We dive into these questions and many others in this podcast with the help of our guests as they share their stories, challenges, and successes and give you practical tips and advice on how to partner for success. Are you ready to join us on this journey? Then stay tuned because we have a great show for you today. Our guests are Promod Antony, the CEO at Logic Intelligence, a data platform and analytics company, and Denny Gim, the Director of Channel Sales at Sandler Partners, a national distributor of IT services and products. Let's hear what they have to say. Well, welcome Promod and Denny to the podcast today. Really excited to have both of you on and appreciate you joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Excellent. Well, let's start off. Denny, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role in the company?
So, Denny Gim with Sandler Partners. We're the largest privately held technology service distributor in the country. So what that means is a single place where technology professionals and IT leaders can come to and get all of their technology services ranging from internet, IT support, data storage, software development, and you name it. And so it goes very deep and wide as we have over 300 plus different carrier providers and adding more every day as AI is expanding and growing is only limited to people's imaginations. So that is essentially what I do there, or is what Sandler is. And my role is a channel manager. I do two things. I recruit agents. So, for instance, Promod is a great representation of that, as we built a partnership where I say, Promod, hey, I can add all of this value to your business, and let me show you how. As he's been focused on software, I can provide him support on all the services that the businesses he's talking to already use in the internet space, IT support, data storage, Internet of Things, and even more and beyond to help deepen those relationships. So I recruit agents, and then I also help those agents close business. And then I also will talk directly to businesses and sell directly and try to close businesses. And when I find those opportunities, in this case that we're talking about today, I will bring those sometimes to my partners, like a Promod, and say, hey, I think there's a fit here. We should do business. And I think you can help this customer. So that's what I do in a nutshell.
No, that's fantastic. Now, and Promod, how about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Promod from Logic Intelligence. I am the CEO and President of Logic Intelligence. We've been in business for 25 years and been leading the company for a couple of decades now. We are a technology solutions provider specializing in advanced analytics, business process automation, and smart manufacturing. And we work with manufacturing companies, construction, and nonprofit. Those are the sectors we are concentrated in. Mainly, we help companies to make their decisions faster.
Mm-hmm. And maybe just a little bit about why did you start the company?
Yeah, I always had a passion to start a company, and I came from India like 25 years ago, and back then I started as a package in the packaging company when I came here. Later, I found my business partner and started the business, and ever since it's so nice and getting that freedom of time, freedom of
Mm-hmm.
choices. That's the main thing for me.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. I can definitely share in those sentiments as I've been kind of a founder entrepreneur ever since I got out of college. So it's an incredible grind, but there's definitely a lot of freedom that comes with that. So that's fantastic. Now, I know you both, are heavily involved like within IMCP. When did you join the IMCP?
I joined in 2022. I was introduced to the IMCP by JP O'Donnell. It was a whole new world universe that I hadn't really even known existed. The whole Microsoft universe, which
Hmm.
I lived completely outside, but running parallel to for many years. And so just understanding and still getting my head around that business, and it's been a wonderful journey so far, and I've met so many great people, and so people like Pramod.
Yeah. And for me, I started like 3 years ago. So we were a Microsoft shop for a long time, maybe like 20 years or something. But we didn't know that this IMCP group existed. So when we were at one of the conferences at NMSDC conference, one of the guys actually came back to me and said, "Oh, there is a group in IMCP. They meet every month at Seattle." So I found the group, and then ever since it's so nice. We actually go for networking at the IMCP Seattle chapter.
Nice, nice. Well, I know we're really anxious to kind of get into your story and how you guys have collaborated and really create some unique value for a really cool organization. But before we do, I know you guys have some really amazing, some fun projects things that you've done on the side. Now, I know Pramod. I mean, you've got a couple of things going on where you've got a YouTube channel and some other things. So, why don't you share with our audience kind of what you have going on there?
It's a fun project. So it started during the pandemic when we were sitting inside the house and we don't have any ways to go outside, no networking, nowhere to see people. So my wife and I, we actually said, why don't we start a YouTube live channel and go live at a particular time? And she became an Amazon influencer, and then
Wow.
we went live every Monday and Friday at 5 p.m. And we start to see people coming in, like 3,000 to 5,000 people
Wow.
and we see these repeated people coming. So it's a fun thing, and at the same time, by the time we are done, we have the dinner ready. And
Now, what's the YouTube
yeah,
channel called though?
it's called Curry TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's going to like on how, I mean, that's kind of a silly question, but it's how you can prepare various dishes, curry dishes.
Yeah, I mean, she loves cooking. I like taking videos and photos, so I get excuse to buy all these equipments for me. And then she'll do the live demonstration of the cooking, and we make a healthy food at home. That's the main, and we try
Nice.
to encourage kids to eat healthy. That's our main motivation to do this
And
channel.
are all these still available on demand
Yeah,
right
it's
now? Okay.
curry.tv. And so
Okay.
we
Curry.
trademark it. Yeah. So we trademark the name too. And then it's curry.tv.
Well, we'll definitely have the link to that in the show notes. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun. And And also, though, but you were mentioning as we were talking about you got your sons or your kids that are in college and they're involved in the business. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's a family business, and even though I was in business for a long time, my wife is my business partner now, and my kids. I have four kids, and the elder kids they are in the business. They are working with the business. Elder one, he's already Power BI certified, and
Wow,
working together with the team. So he been into a couple of IMCP meetings as well. So he's getting that the next generation ideas and everything. He's bringing those kind of ideas to the table.
that is fantastic. Now, Danny, you've got a really cool background story where like you're an action star.
Well, this is back when I was quite a bit younger. I had an opportunity to be in a movie, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 3, when they used to have animatronic heads and actual physical actors and so forth. In 1993, my karate instructor let me know that they were casting for a film. And there were about 200 martial arts people that showed up. And I have a kind of a little bit of a history of martial arts where I used to learn martial arts under a gentleman named Junki Yoshida, who's the inventor of Yoshida sauce you'll see in Costco's everywhere. Anyhow,
Oh, wow.
yeah, he was my sensei. And then his nephew, Kent, is the one that I started learning under during college. And so, anyway, he told me about this casting call. We went out and they selected 11 of us out of the 200. And then we spent the next 4 months in Astoria, where they were building out a 15th century village palace inside this hangar. And us 11 guys just were a bunch of meatheads working out all day, playing fight scenes and making stuff up as we went. And our stunt coordinator would stamp his rubber stamp and say, "That's good." That's his credit that he would get. But we had a fantastic time, and it was so much fun. I remember as like almost like a summer camp and getting paid for it. I bought my first sports car that summer. I bought a 300Z T-top, and man, I thought it was the coolest thing. And we had a little two-bedroom apartment with 7 guys. We all stashed in that one apartment. I think back now, that place was so disgusting, but we're a bunch of meatheads. We didn't really think anything of it. But yeah, we spent that summer making fight scenes. I negotiated with the local high school to open up their gym so that all the extras, there were probably like, I don't know, maybe 100 to 150 martial arts guys and extras and villagers and whatnot that came into town and didn't have anything to do in the downtime. So I got the gym open so we could all shoot hoops and lift weights and hang out. And we had a good time. And then, yeah. And so I guess that movie came out. I got an opportunity to wrestle with the main people, April and Casey Jones, and they're throwing me around and all that kind of stuff. So it was a lot of fun. A couple of my friends went on to do other things. One of the turtles, I think it was Michelangelo, was actually one of the characters in that video game Street Fighter.
Okay,
And
yeah.
yeah, he was. I don't know what the name of that guy is, but he had actually had a cartoon of him in it, which was kind of funny, seeing him in there. So yeah, it was a lot of stuff that spawned off of that. But I knew
Nice.
acting wasn't going to be my career. But I tell you what, it was one fantastic opportunity, and I think we even had a spot on the news channel that summer. So I highly recommend it if you guys can get away for 4 months and get on a film, go do it.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah, but just keep your apartment clean, though. That's right. It's
that's for sure.
well, that's
Sure.
fun. That's fun. Those are some
Yeah.
great stories. Really appreciate you guys sharing that. One of the things as you were sharing, so maybe Pramod, maybe share a little bit about, you talked a little bit about, the areas of focus. Can you share a little bit more about the area of like specializations there at Logic Intelligence?
Yeah, we are a technology solutions provider, mainly providing decision support systems. So we help companies to automate their data flow and workflows to create meaningful insights from the data and help with their decision making process. We work with companies in the manufacturing, construction, and nonprofit. Sometimes it may be for sales and marketing, it may be for retail, IT, or some other departments. But then the main concept is to create that unified data analytics platform to take decisions, intelligent decisions based on the data and the insights.
Mm, mm. And before we get to the story, Denny, is there some more that you maybe share a little bit about the areas of specialization for Sandler?
Yeah. So Sandler is, it's a little bit more difficult to give a one specific specialization, but if you can just think of the model of a technology distribution center. So I'll give you a perfect example is one of my agents is the director of IT and originally reached out for some internet circuits. Piece of cake. Let's take a look at your locations. You have 5 locations. Let's talk about, okay, how can we do this securely? And network security is actually very important these days as those cyber guys, so bad guys are going after these medium-sized SMB to enterprise customers. So we started talking about that. And then we started talking about, well, we're going through a digital transformation. We need to upgrade our equipment. We need to get into using Cisco and Meraki platforms for Wi-Fi distribution for our business and modernize what we're doing. On the software side, we want to move our licensing over so that you can manage it. And by the way, our ERP and various CRM systems are a little bit antiquated. We'd love some help in that. So that, roughly $1,000 account all of a sudden became a $10,000 biller monthly. And we were able to modernize and lift up that company so that their competitors may be at the same level, but because of what they're doing, technology is allowing them to up their game. They're going from high school players to NBA players. Now they're able to move faster, do bigger things, not be restricted by the technology that's holding them back to organize and help with workflow efficiency, and also do it securely with all the cybersecurity strategies and platforms. So their cyber posture is, state of the art. They're on par as I would call them, they're about a $40 million company, kind of a small enterprise SMB type company, but they're able to compete with any company that's $1 billion company because of the things that they've transitioned over. So if you think of what we do specialize in is we bring solutions and technology to surround organizations, companies to bring up the full potential of what they can do. And so I guess that would be kind of the specialization is you can take a little bit or all of it. It's just a matter of, what is needed.
Mm-hmm. No, that's fantastic. And I really look forward to hearing about how you guys really collaborated in this upcoming story. Rudy?
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, let's get started on this story. I want to hear this partner showcase that you guys worked on. Can you tell us a little bit about the client, how big they are, the industry that they were in, and the technology that you implemented, and particularly what challenges they were facing that brought you two together?
Well, I'll start. So Oregon Food Bank was originally my client. So I did a number of things for them on the infrastructure with VoIP, internet, and so forth. I had a relationship over there, and there came a need where their project manager reached out saying that they need a data repository platform. To be honest, that was something that I had never dealt with before, and so I had known that there's probably a dozen or so different providers that can do that. But when I met Promod and I guess we can go more into how that kind of evolved. But when I met Promod, I found out Promod says that's exactly what we do. And I'm like, well, perfect. It was meant to be. So, I felt quite blessed in that situation that not only did I meet an expert in the field, but somebody local, somebody I could see eye to eye. And those IMCP meetings I think are important. Not as many people show up in person, but I think the value of showing up in person, sometimes you get to meet them, get to know who they are. And so I was encouraged once we met how that developed and the need from the Oregon Food Bank. They're the largest food distribution company or nonprofit in the region. And they kind of set the tone for other food banks in Oregon and Washington and probably some other states as well. So a lot of what they do, you'll get distributed to their, I think, something like 250 different affiliates that they push out. So, and what they do is they literally save lives daily because people go hungry. There's a lot of food insecurity. And an organization like Oregon Food Bank is one of the critical pieces, I think, in our society that has really designed a phenomenal platform to distribute food across our region to make sure that those in need have resources and food and can be fed. And they do it in a great way. And if you have an opportunity to also volunteer for a food bank and put food packages together and so forth, I'd highly encourage it. It's a very rewarding work. And for me, it was more of a passion project getting involved with the Oregon Food Bank. I have a good friend working there that kind of made the introduction to some of the leadership in that organization. And so I felt very honored and proud to be able to be a part of an organization that does so many good things. So that's about it from a starting point, at least on the Oregon Food Bank.
Pramod, can you tell us a little bit about what the solution was, how you put it together and how long it took and, all the things that you did?
Yeah, sure. And so mainly they wanted to they started with the data platform, but then when they look at it, it's on-prem. Everything was on-prem. And the data were refreshed only like a quarterly basis and everything. And it's manual. So we see a lot of opportunities. Actually, we've been doing that for years. And we can do that in our dreams. That's the kind of thing which we do every time. So when they came to us, we actually first thing was it's actually showing them we can do it, and then the next thing is to actually educate them about how moving to the cloud is actually kind of save their lot of time and effort. So we were able to convince them and then start the project. So we built all the process which they were doing manually. We automated the whole process. They've been getting the data from all these affiliates and all these different places about, all these businesses who are providing them food and all those different things. So we were able to automate it and get it in Microsoft Azure. We use Azure and all these technologies, Power BI, and all these automation, Azure Data Factory, everything to cleanse the data, prepare the data, and then show that in meaningful reports. And it's scheduled, so no one has to touch it. It can be scheduled it could be even scheduled to run on a daily basis. So, and it was done for like 8 months. It was done within 8 months.
So as a partners, which one of you handled the licensing for this Azure implementation?
So as Oregon Food Bank, we were able to leverage Microsoft's nonprofit grant. That was, we want to get started, right? We want to show that the first thing. So we started with that grant, and that grant actually took them for the first 8 months. So the next one, so every year they can get that grant. So we are trying to bring that cost down to that particular grant. And if it goes over, they will, then we will be, Denny and I will be sharing some of the profit or something. We haven't fully decided that yet. Denny can talk more about that.
Well, I would also add Pramod's team and his implementation was 5 stars, 5 out of 5, because Oregon Food Bank came to us as not really even understanding or knowing what they wanted to do. They needed somebody to hold their hand and really teach them how to crawl, walk and run. Now they're able to fly. So this is where I saw in the beginning, Promod set up an initial in-person meeting for the Oregon Food Bank team to meet his team. We met physically, locally, and I think that was really important because for a company that really wasn't sure, and also leadership that wasn't 100% sure their steps, that helped give them some confidence, a little bit of hand-holding. And then after the weekly Zoom, Teams type meetings. It was actually Teams because we love Microsoft. We did our Teams meetings, and we're able to go through the different pieces of the project and keep the client well informed along the way. And there was great communication between Promod and the leadership there. And even when those times, I mean, it's not all roses and butterflies. It can be kind of difficult, but it was handled with compassion, very succinct, very direct help. Those things and being very responsive were instrumental. And so, what it did for me is it gave me just the confidence to know, wow, Promod did such a fantastic job here. I wonder how many other deals I can find for him like this. So it kind of it was like exciting for me to kind of think about the potential. And I'm hoping for Promod, he can see, hopefully on the other side, the Sandler side, it opens his mind to like, whoa, here's a good partnership where maybe not only on the data side, because it's easy, I think, in the Microsoft world to kind of have the blinders on and then not be aware of all the other businesses happening around that's already on the table. And so that's really the exciting part going forward for us.
Thank you for joining us for this insightful conversation with Denny and Promod. We've heard about their impressive backgrounds, the innovative work they're doing, and the meaningful partnership they've developed. Be sure to turn into the next part of this podcast where we'll dive a little deeper into their collaboration on the Oregon Food Bank project and explore more about their journey together. Until then, stay inspired and keep exploring new possibilities. Be on the lookout for part 2. In the meantime, don't forget to follow us on social media and connect with us on our website, www.iamcp.org, where you can find more information, resources, and opportunities to partner for success. One of the best ways to partner for success is to join IMCP, a community of Microsoft partners who help each other grow and thrive. IMCP members can find and connect with other partners locally and globally and access exclusive resources and opportunities. Whether you're looking for new customers, new markets, and new solutions, IMCP can help you achieve your goals. To learn more, visit the IMCP website at www.iamcp.org.